Hello, my name is Dorian, they, them pronouns. I'm about to maybe make a rambly kind of ramble video about some thoughts about the MCU right now, maybe. Um, I actually just tried to, like, record myself doing another rambly rant about it that went on for way too long because it's me and I was, half awake and yada yada. And what I was looking for was I was looking for like one of these listy lists that had like all of the MCU like heroes, or I should say protagonists, that like started out as heroes, were always heroes, or still heroes, didn't like heroes, like didn't become villains per se, and like where they are now, and just kind of random thoughts about like all the main characters of the MCU and like who is still around, who's alive, whatever, whatever. And so anyway, I found this like list of a bunch of characters because I was just trying to get all the characters and not like the movie titles. And it had a whole bunch of characters that I didn't know like who they were at all, that might be from like maybe Netflix TV shows or something, or I don't know, but not like everybody. So for example, like it had like this guy, for example, I have no idea who this is. And like, but I don't see the Runaways on here. Like I watch the Runaways, I like them. I don't see them anywhere on here. So anyway, I just found this list because it had a whole bunch of characters, and so I sort of just classified them into like, and I didn't even get done with it, and I went off on tangents and yada yada. And so this isn't even like, obviously I know who these people are. I just kind of gave up at some point. But like I was trying to throw them in the categories of, okay, at the bottom are like, here are all the characters that I don't know who any of these people are, and then like it all, although I think this is maybe at the end of Guardian. Oh, all the spoilers up till August. It just turned in August 2024. Apologies. So I think this was like maybe in Guardians 3 or something as like some side character or something. I was looking for like main characters. And like I think that's Judy Greer. I think she was maybe like the mom of Cassie Lang or something. Like I couldn't quite place her character. I think this is a character from like Wakanda Forever, and I didn't see Wakanda Forever. So like characters I think this is Jessica Jones, but I didn't see that show. And then I had all the characters who these are the characters who I did know who they were, and I sorted them into and like trigger warning. These should have had spoiler warning, like content warning things on them. But of like who's still alive and who's dead, even though like alive and dead doesn't mean anything like really in comics in the MCU, but like dead kind of asterisk. So I was like, okay, well, I shouldn't have had this guy here because I think that's Stanley Tucci, but like I vaguely remember his character. I don't know, but like that's Ajax. Yeah, we had a woman of color superhero god deity thing, but she's dead. And then the Grand Supreme Sorcerer Supreme Tilda Swinton character, and like I couldn't remember if this one was alive or dead. I think that's like the moody one from Eternals. And then Loki, like I only saw season 1 of Loki, not season 2 of Loki, but like Loki in our main universe is dead. But asterisk, and then this guy's sort of outside of space and time. Like I couldn't remember. I think she's from Shang-Chi. I couldn't remember if she was alive or not. I couldn't remember if I think Peter Dinklage's Dimitri was alive or not. I think everybody with the Nova Corps is all way dead. I shouldn't have put this here. I don't know this character. Just like looked like Elektra to me. Like this is one of like Thor's guys who's like a side character who's dead, and so on. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, say no more. Thor universe, most of the people in Thor's universe are dead, and, classically Gamora. I couldn't remember if this Eternals guy was dead or living. A lot of them didn't make it. I can't remember. I'm like, R.I.P. Heimdall, Thor people. I think this was Icarus. I think that's Tony Stark's dad. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I keep saying Robin from How I Met Your Mother. From yeah, they killed her off in the pilot of Secret Invasion. Blanking on her. Maria Hill, and then R.I.P. Maria Rambo. And yeah, and Aunt May, and yeah, and then so then these are the ones. And again, I'm like, why was this weird little thing from like Shang-Chi in there? And then here are all the people who are like, okay, I know who you are, and I think you're still alive. And some of them are more side characters, like Okoye, and then you have like Hulk's like first girlfriend, and then like Bucky's out doing whatever Bucky's doing. Last saw him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Presumably will maybe be in the Captain America upcoming movie, maybe. And then Captain Marvel. I didn't see the Marvels. I mean, so I guess the last I saw her in was like, I guess, Endgame. Then I assume she's out doing cosmic stuff or whatever. I think that's a TVA agent. I couldn't place this person. I was thinking there was either Tony Stark's grown-up kid or like Cassie Lang in like Ant-Man and the Wasp age or something. This is like Doctor Strange's love interest who is like fridged over and over again in like What If, but I didn't see What If season 2. I think this is Echo. I think she's still alive. I didn't see the finale. I watched like most of Echo. I didn't finish it. The like Cosmo's in there for some reason. I think in the new and the new team with Rocket. And then this was like, I think this was a character that was introduced in Eternals as like a really side character, and then Drax out doing things. I think this was the doctor from Thor, Groot. I think that's Hank Pym and Happy Hogan, and Hawkeye retired, Mantis out, whatever, Wasp, Hunter B-15, other Wasp, blanking on his name, the magic trick guy, Darcy. Come on, Nanjiani's. What was his character's name? In. It's not. Is it Kingo? Kingo? Maybe? I think. I'm not sure. From Eternals. Korg. This guy from Guardians. I'm blanking on his name. She was sort of fridged. I think she's I think that's Hawkeye's wife, Freaks and Geeks gal. I think I last saw her in the Hawkeye TV show, and she's still, I think, more off screen, but like more, I think, have more agency, deep side. And then Ant-Man side character Makari. I think M'Baku, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so, and then, MJ, like a teacher, Nokia. I didn't see Wakanda Forever, though. Nebula, Ned, Nick Fury, Agent, Peggy Carter, right? Did I say okay? No, I'm blanking on the name. Kiki Kwan's character in Loki season 2, but I only saw like episode 1 of season 2. Pepper Potts, I forget her like superhero code name, Wong. And so I was like, what? And then I kind of went down all these rabbit holes of like, what were all the loose threads that the MCU threw at us in like phase 4 and up till present, of what all I've seen of like, where are we going in future? What loose threads do we still have out there to conclude? So, I was thinking about Wong being like the Sorcerer Supreme now and stuff, and like there could be a lot of stories there, but also like I don't think they would make him a main character in a movie. I think they conclude. I think Nick Fury got his story sort of in the Secret Invasion thing, so I don't think he's gonna have an upcoming like feature Like, and then I was like, what? Who are we gonna see sort of upcoming in future? Like, who should we be like paying attention to right now? And then so I kind of divided it into who are people I think whose stories are like ongoing, who we're gonna see more of, and then are they like protagonists or potentially like antagonists? And so I was like, I don't really think we're gonna see any more Adam Warlock, but he was like a new character who was introduced, who could be a protagonist, could be an antagonist, could be upcoming. Although I think that probably realistically died with like James Gunn, but like it's fiction. You could do whatever you want. There was a new character that was introduced. Technically, we could see more of. I know it is a superhero that in the comics was really a lot different than portrayed them, whatever, etc. Rants there, but and then so not likely to see in the future. I feel like we could see more Doctor Strange, although I was like, I don't know if I really want to see more of after Multiverse of Madness. I think Shang-Chi 2, a sequel would make sense to see what's happening with like the head of the like crime syndicate with his sister and like all the loose ends that were left there. And then from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like we got like all the loose ends with like Madripoor and like what the broker's doing. And then from like I didn't see all of the secret invasion-y thing. I saw like the first or second. I saw the first couple episodes, and then I heard of how it ended and blah 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 blah. But I'm like, I feel like maybe she's gonna be upcoming and more scroll stuff in the future that I don't really have an interest in. And then I think he's gonna be upcoming as like an antagonist in like the Thunderbolts or something, I think. And then of the protagonists that we could see more of, like she was introduced. I don't think she's gonna get like She-Hulk is gonna get like a movie or anything, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we should get like another season of the TV show. I don't know. But a new character was introduced that maybe we could see more of in the future. I think maybe Elena is gonna come up and like. I think they did finish filming a Thunderbolts project, so I think we're gonna see more of her. And then like Shuri. I don't know what happened to her, but I loosely kind of feel like the gist of maybe what happened with Wakanda Forever of like she's going to be like the new Black Panther, so maybe potentially we could see an upcoming movie featuring her. Although I'm not sure how likely that is, or maybe she is part of like a new Young Avengers movie that could be coming up. And then I was like, I didn't see a Deadpool Wolverine movie, so the last I saw of Wanda was from Multiverse of Madness. But like, I've heard rumors that, I mean, all the spoilers, I've heard rumors that she's dead and gone, which is just a rumor to me because I'm not up to date. But I hope that she's still around, still floating around out there. And it is fiction, you can do whatever you want. Because I was like, I really want to see more with this character. There's a lot going on there, but I don't know if we're likely to see more of her character anytime soon. I don't know, but I think that could be a good avenue forward. I think we'll get a Shang-Chi Part 2, maybe. I feel like that was kind of a standalone movie. We don't know. It left us with a lot of loose threads coming up. I don't think we're going to get a Jane Foster-led starring movie with Natalie Portman anytime soon. But again, new character that was introduced, it would feel like your next step might be to have like a Jane Foster Thor movie now. I don't think anybody wants it or whatever, but theoretically that could be like something coming up. Moon Knight, I watched like part of it. I didn't finish it, but like there could be more of that. I wanted to see more of Monica Rambeau. I last saw her in WandaVision. I didn't watch the Marvels, so I'm not sure, but I feel like they just kind of like from what I heard from there, they just kind of booted her into another universe. But like, I think there could be a lot of cool stories with her. Teyonah Parris, great actor, like, and I think she could be maybe part of the upcoming Young Avengers or something. Again, Kamala Khan. Unfortunately, I didn't watch anything of her in it. Like, I didn't watch her TV show. I didn't watch the Marvels. But I hear that her TV show is good. I heard that her part in the Marvels was good. I hear everybody likes her. That her new powers aren't as cool as like the comics, and that doesn't surprise me. Marvel just kind of turns everything into a CGI whatever now. But like I think everybody likes the actress. I think she could be upcoming with the Young Avengers thing. This person I couldn't quite remember. I feel like he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as like someone who's important that like they're gonna pass a baton to. Like I think he's gonna become the new Falcon maybe. And then Kate Bishop like for the Hawkeye, and then like Cassie Lang, and then Hulk is still out there somewhere with like Hulk's son or whatever. It's like they gotta explain that loose end, right? And then America Chavez, who was introduced in like Multiverse Madness, and then USA Agent, I think for introduced, Thunderbolts thing or whatever. Riri Williams, I think they filmed all of the TV show of Ironheart. I think it's done, but I heard it was canceled or not, or I don't know if it's coming out. I think she was officially introduced in Wakanda Forever, which I didn't see. Oh, but I think she might be part of the Young Avengers, and then the next thing I think up on deck is the Captain America movie with Sam Wilson. So I think these are like the people. So basically, I figured where I concluded with my big old long, I think it was like a 2-hour rant. Well, I think I concluded with like these are the people who I would hope to see or expect to see going forward. These are the people who I think might be upcoming like antagonists. Oh yeah, I put Doctor Strange as like an antagonist. And like here are other people who exist and other people who exist who are dead, and here are people who exist who I don't know who they are. Yada yada yada. And then I didn't finish because obviously there's a lot more people that I was like, but like okay, like Forrest Whitaker from like Black Panther, like side characters, and like Valkyrie I really like, but she's like kind of like a side character, and I don't see her having a standalone movie anytime soon, unfortunately. And like Tony Stark is dead, and unfortunately T'Challa they should recast, but like I guess his son I think will like continue in 20 years or so. Shuri until then, but there's more stories to tell with T'Challa, but in the main MCU, as far as we know, I don't think we're getting an Eternals 2 movie. I think Armor Wars, like, was canceled, so, like, I don't think there's more with, I don't think we're gonna get another Ant-Man movie with starring this guy, but, like, passing the torch to the daughter, like, and so on and so on. So anyway, that's where I was at with that, sort of, kind of, but I wasn't really happy with any of all that, like, ranting, because it was, like, well, plus there's too many characters I didn't know who they were, or, like, a lot of characters I think were missing. So, anyway, I searched for a different list of characters, and, I don't know how this list will fit with what I was looking for or not. Like, there's already, like, that's not like a main protagonist. But anyway, this will be like a little redundant, or Stan Lee, but whatever. I'm just gonna go through here and just be like, I guess to continue my train of thought a little bit of who are the characters who are still left alive around in the MCU proper that I know of, who I should expect to see a movie or TV show or something upcoming. Like, who should I be rooting for Phase 5, Phase 6? Like, what's on the horizon here? And, of course, there's things that we might want to see that we don't have any unfortunate hint of, like, where's Blade that was supposed to happen, like, 5 years ago? And, like, what about Silver Surfer? And, like, I don't know, maybe Deadpool and Wolverine, which I haven't seen yet, is more hinting of, like, the mutants are coming. So we could have more mutant movies. We could have Fantastic Four, But, like, of the people that were introduced in Phase 4 and Phase 5, and, like, Shang-Chi and, like, all that stuff, like, what were we given from those phases of, like, where are we at now? I don't know. Rambly thoughts, because I ramble, whatever. Let me just go through the characters and just kind of throw them in a category somewhere. I don't know. And, yeah, this is, like, good, bad, medium. Ignoring that for now, it's just like, do I know them? Are they upcoming? Are they a main character? Am I gonna see them in a future project? Okay. Valkyrie, I'm not sure what her real name is, because she is a Valkyrie. I think it's supposed to be Brunhilde. At the end of Endgame, she was, like, basically the sovereign of New Asgard and ruling it. And then in Thor: Love and Thunder, I think she is also doing something administrative. But again, a side character. She has like really kick-ass fighting powers, but she doesn't really have like superpowers per se. I think she's cool, but I don't think there's enough really to go on for her to be in a standalone film. After Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't think anyone's clamoring for a fifth Thor film. I don't think anyone's clamoring for a Valkyrie film. She's a really cool character. I like her. She's still around. There's more stories to tell, but I'm gonna put her in the middle because like I don't think we're gonna see anything with her. Happy Hogan over here because he's not like a main character. He's a side character, representative of like what like Tom Holland Spider-Man or whatever, but you know, asterisk in that Spider-Man's its own thing. Like we have to have a Spider-Man movie, I guess legally, like every year forever. Long story short, it's like yeah, I would be nice to get another Tom Holland Spider-Man, but I almost don't want another Tom Holland Spider-Man. Of like, let Tom Holland grow up. Let's have a live-action Miles Morales movie. I liked the ending of No Way Home of like, just leave it there. Just don't have that be a cliffhanger. Like, leave it there. Don't make another movie that stars Tom Holland. But I'm sure they're already filming another Tom Holland Spider-Man, so whatever. Okay, Rhodey, again, I think he was supposed to star in like the Armor Wars TV show that might have gotten canceled. I don't think we'll see a major movie centering around him. Rocket, we already had that with Guardians 3 as a send-off, so I don't think we're going to see any, and we shouldn't see really anymore. They left it like you could have like, okay, now we can see this new troop of Guardians and their anthology, and that could be like a TV show, and we could get more, or maybe they could, I think I heard a rumor that they might show Star-Lord on Earth or something, you know, more stories to tell, but I feel like that was pretty conclusive. Leave it alone, tie a bow on it, no more stories there, we concluded it. So same here, but, you know, that could be wishful thinking. I think we might get another TV show here. But again, there's a lot of loose threads that you could play more with, but I think the end of their story, like, with those characters. Same here, like, we could have a whole spin-off with Mantis, because she deserves more of her story to be told, but, you know, she's off finding herself, and just leave it as it is for now, but, you know, I could see it in future. Yeah, you know, same, like, okay. Her story was done and told. Nebula has some more to go, but again, I think it was kind of done as it was. Like, you're dead. Yeah. But there's like, what, young Thanos is part of the new Avengers in the comics or something. Again, I feel like I don't think we're going to get a movie with Natalie Portman in it. I think it would make sense to get like a Lady Thor like movie as the next movie centered around like the Jane Foster Thor. I don't think there's any will to do that or anyone looking for that. But that was one of the loose threads given to us from Phase 4 of like that should be like, if all things being equal, like if it was done well and everything, that would be the new person to accept the baton of like Chris Hemsworth Thor out, Jane Foster Thor in, and continue the story threads that way. So I don't think we're gonna see any more projects there, but I'll just put it in the middle, whatever. That's like is that Ultron? Like that's already like dead and explored in What If, and I saw What If season 1. I didn't see What If season 2. You're a side character who's already dead, but I think that's Quicksilver, and they already pulled the whole bring back for Wiener joke thing. But again, I think the next move is they're gonna do mutants and stuff, so they might resurrect the character, whatever. Vision, I feel like, is a dangling thread of like the character's totally dead, but Ship of Theseus or something. White Vision, and we had the White Vision thread dangled of like that deserves some conclusions. Plus there was supposed to be a Vision centered TV show that I was sort of looking forward to a little bit, but I think it got canceled. There's more to tell. That's a loose thread there, but I don't think there's any will to bring like that back. Friday, I don't know. I think that's just Gal Friday, like the Iron Man AI or whatever side character. Heimdall, unfortunately deceased. Sad waste of Idris Elba and a cool character relegated to like a side character spot. R.I.P. Stan Lee and just cameos. Is that Ant-Man? So yeah, what I was saying, like passing the torch to Cassie Lang. There's more to tell, I think, with like Evangeline Lilly Wasp, but she was so relegated to the background in Quantumania that like she didn't even exist. Again with the Tom Holland thing. I like with the other one, I said like they're gonna tell like more stories with Doctor Strange, and there were a lot of loose ends there after Multiverse of Madness, so I could see him coming back. Probably more as an antagonist, but I'm sure they'll make him a protagonist. Somebody else said that like he does better as a side character in someone else's movies than as a main character in his own, and I'm like, yeah, kind of, yeah. I don't really think like I don't have an appetite to see another thing with him, but like I think they will make more of him. Captain Marvel, again, I didn't see the Marvels, and I feel like it wasn't well received at all, and there's so much backlash from the first one, even though the first one was like mixed reviews received, and like I don't think there's any appetite to see her character again, so I don't think there will be like a her part 3. There's lots of stories to be told with the character. I think it's just kind of being mismanaged and stuff. So I don't really think we're going to see much more there. Is this Wong? Because I was like, I would love to see like a Wong-centric movie, and like he's the Sorcerer Supreme, and like maybe him and Ned and what they're doing now, but I don't think it will happen. I think they're just going to keep him as like a sidekick. And, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman and R.I.P. T'Challa. Killmonger is also deceased. And then, Okoye, I think. Again, side character. Yelena, we will see more of. Like I've said, like, this is just redundant-ish from, like, before. But, like, I think Yelena had a good like debut in the Black Widow movie, and then continued to be popular in Hawkeye appearance, and then is gonna be, I think, featured coming up in Thunderbolts, which I think was already made. So I think we are guaranteed to have more of her, and she's good, and I think she can like take focus going forward. I think they're gonna have her as more of an antagonist when I think she's more popular as a protagonist, or whatever. You're deceased. Ned, again, could be cool, and like I said, wizard powers, and there's more stories to tell there, but I think they're just going to keep him as a sidekick, unfortunately. And MJ, yeah, just as the girlfriend kind of trope kind of thing. Is this just the cloak? Why is just the cloak in here? Oh, this is technically like the President Loki variant. I think, again, I didn't see Loki season 2. I think they've wrapped up like the Tom Hiddleston Loki. Again, more stories to tell, but like unlikely. Collector, right? Why is the Collector here dead? Okay, Agatha. Again, they left a lot of threads with WandaVision, and we were promised Agatha TV show. It's gotten a lot of different names, like first it was called House of Harkness, which I thought sounded cool. Then it was called Darkhold Diaries, which I thought sounded kind of hokey. Now I think it's called something else. I don't know what it's called now. But I don't know if they've filmed it or are going to film it, but I think it's definitely coming. Although I could see it getting canceled or something. But again, like I really, really, really like Catherine Hahn. So, I mean, and if they had the same team that did WandaVision, like, I think I'd be into it, even though I'm not really, I'm not really following the character, or, like, it's not a top MCU concern. I'm just saying, like, as content, it might be interesting, because Catherine Hahn is fun, and WandaVision was good, and it doesn't tie into anything, but whatever. Anyway, Quicksilver, Wiener, whatever. That's what I said before. Darcy, Dr. Darcy, forget her last name, astrophysicist. Side character, Loki Gator would be really fun. Side character, Kid Loki. I was rambling about this in my other thing. It was like, because Kid Loki wasn't on the other list, and I thought should have been. Maybe we won't see anything with Kid Loki at all, but I feel like in the comics, Kid Loki is really, really important, and you could tell a whole other Loki story, which I wouldn't think would have. But Kid Loki is like one of the Young Avengers, like important. There's a whole other story there you could tell. That's cool if it was handled right. Like maybe it's my wishful thinking, but I'm gonna elevate Kid Loki because Kid Loki should be up with the, whatever. Anyway. But maybe, again, I didn't see season 2, and he stayed behind season 1, so in this MCU, probably nothing gonna happen there. Miss Minutes, I think, I need to see season 2, but I think Miss Minutes might run in as a background character. I don't think it would be, like, hugely important. I have heard that they've kind of drawn the Kang arc to a premature close, which I think is unfortunate. I think they should have kept Jonathan Majors or recast or kept the Kang character, because that was another whole big thing you were teasing in a direction of going one way, and then anyway. So, and then Hunter B-15, again, really cool, but I don't think, it's more of a side character. Shang-Chi, yeah, that a lot of open-endedness there. So I feel like that is a really good candidate for a sequel if there's not discussion of a sequel already. So I think that is really good sequel promise of likelihood of we'll see a part 2 there. Or there's a lot of loose ends. Anyway. Okay, we did close the book on the Tobey Maguire stuff, but there's always more in future. There's a lot to tell with Hulk, with Son now. That was a loose end that was thrown out there. But there's stuff with the rights and da-da-da-da. I do think we'll see the Hulk continue on in future. I don't know if we'll see a solo Hulk movie or not, but they should address the whole Son thing. Leave too many loose threads dangling, you start to feel like the Lost TV show. Like, you never addressed the smoke monster, or the this, or like... Anyway, whatever. Andrew Garfield could maybe deserve some more movies, but he did get a kind of conclusion in No Way Home that was satisfying, so... Deceased. And also... Yeah, okay. Oh, is this Daredevil? So, I think if this is Daredevil, I don't think Daredevil was on the other list. I haven't seen the Netflix Daredevil show. I hear people really, really like it. I hear people are disappointed of what they even think Disney's going to do with it. But they made a crowd-pleasing appearance of Daredevil in No Way Home, which was really fun, and they got people amped. And I think Daredevil was in She-Hulk, which I think people didn't like. And then maybe we got some in Echo, maybe. I'm not sure, I think. And so I think Daredevil, they are definitely for sure making a Daredevil TV show that's coming up that I think people aren't, people have misgivings about, but think it could be good. And it exists in that kind of Echo Kingpin universe. And maybe, I think there's definitely promise to have like more Daredevil content, movies, etc., probably in the works. R.I.P. I'm sure they'll make more what if stuff. That's kind of like the gift that keeps giving, right? Although season 1 kind of all tied into an arc, so I don't know if season 2 would do that. But if they truly make it an open-ended anthology, that could be fun. As one thing that I could maybe get back into of like just standalone stuff, Heh. Why is this even in here? But yes, of course, Sony will keep making stuff like this forever, whether we want it or not. Is that Matt Smith? And what is he doing here? I don't know. Is that from a Morbius thing? I don't know. And we got Eternals. I think I just heard that Eternals 2, which was a project, was canceled. Again, we'll see more of Nick Fury, or we should, but I think, his tale was probably told in the Secret War thing, so. You're mortal now. I liked Makari. I don't think we'll see more come back. I like Kingo. I like Fastos. I don't think we'll see more Pepper Potts, but it makes sense because she could be whatever her superhero name is that was shown in Endgame, and he could have you could do a little spin-off TV show with that character there. That could be a new character moving forward, plus their kid, etc. Dead, retired. Okay, this is for sure obviously coming out. This is the next thing coming out, I think. So that is for sure coming out next. Right? Okay. I'm just not I don't know, I kind of find Anthony Mackie a little dull. I'm not interested in the MCU in general. I was kind of bored with, kind of turned off with a few things about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm not really interested in, Madripoor inner mob dealings. I was kind of rooting for the flag smashers and helping refugees until they're oh, boom, they're bad now. I don't know. And why can't Sam Wilson get alone when, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We're all here for wondering about how he's gonna eat at night, and are we gonna get the loan to save the houseboat? And I mean, and then whatever. And then okay, so I think she's retired, and I don't want to see more Thor content, but they'll probably make more Thor content. I don't even know who you are. Is that a spin-off of Tony Stark's dad when he was young, or I don't know what that is. Vulture. Yeah, I think that. What he made? No, I don't know. Why? Okay, I think we're not gonna get into Loki season 3. I think 2 was done. I think Sylvie was set up to do more stuff in future. Again, I haven't watched Loki season 2 to know where we're going. This character was meant to be a one-off, but old Loki again. There's stuff in the comics you could tell really cool stories. And Gugu Mbatha Ra, I don't know from Loki season 2, I don't know if she's a prominent figure or a background figure, but if she's running the TVA, she's really prominent. We could see more of her in future. I didn't see Deadpool and Wolverine, but I've heard the TVA is in it, so is she in there? Kang, that's the whole thing. Jonathan Majors, should have been brought back, and what is the whole thing, but he had a really strong, compelling performance as Kang, and his Kang was one of the only good things about Quantumania, and you set up so much Kang stuff, and I didn't even see Loki season 2. I just saw 1 or 2, but from what I saw at the end of Loki season 1 and the season 2 that I did see, and Quantumania, yeah, we're all going in this direction, and then I think they just were nope, we're not doing that anymore. We're shifting gears to Doctor Doom. So we're not going to see any more content of that, I don't think, but we should. Yes, that's a whole other rant there. Okay, again, we could see more of, Goblin and Goblin Jr. There's story. Spider-Man, they have to make a new Spider-Man thing all the time. But probably not. Okay, and then what is this? What is this one? I don't know what that is. It's fire. Is that Johnny Storm or Fantastic Four? I don't know. If Fantastic Four is upcoming, I don't know what this is. I don't know. Oh, maybe that's one of the Eternals. Maybe that's Icarus who died over here. We're not going to see another Eternal. Okay, what are you? What are you? I don't know this one. That's Ajax. That must be Ajax who died. Is that a villain who died from Hydra or something? Okay, Eternals. Okay, retired. Yeah, we'll see Mark Ruffalo Hulk, I think as a background, not headlining. I don't think we'll see, But they could, you know, another big story they could tell in the future is more Hulk stories. So I'm sure they'll get full rights to that, and we will see that in future sometime, whatever. But yeah, not immediately. Okay, I think you're deceased. Deceased. What are you? Are you a frost giant? I can't tell what this is. Looks sort of like a frost giant, which why would that be here? I don't know. It's not Drax? I don't know. Bucky, I think will be upcoming in the so put Bucky at the top as a side character. I don't think he'll be headlining a movie. Deceased, but the Doom thing. Deceased, Eternal. This is okay. And then there's Wanda, which may or may not be deceased, may or may not be out of the picture, but really was like the only character really coming out of like phase 4 or 5 thing that I was like, ooh, give me more. Just give me more Elizabeth Olsen. Like, there's a lot going on here with her family and the Darkhold and all this stuff. I don't know if we're going to see more. I think it's more likely we'll see her than these guys. Well, Armor Wars. But yeah, so I guess that's another way to put it. I guess here I'm basically saying, I know we're going to get like Captain America and like Thunderbolts and like Agatha and probably Daredevil, probably like a Shang-Chi Part 2, maybe Wanda, I don't know, maybe more Vision stuff, I don't know. Armor Wars, maybe, probably not. Probably not. Maybe Thor, another Thor thing. Probably another Doctor Strange thing. I don't know about the Vision TV show thing. I don't really think so for her. And then, where's the Young Avengers be at? Or sorry, where are they at? I don't know. Because this doesn't have, like, all the things. And then, okay, and then over here I was like, same kind of thing. Yeah, there's Ironheart, who should be upcoming. And then Thunderbolts, and then America Chavez. A lot of characters to follow now. Who should be upcoming. Or maybe a side TV show. I don't know. We need to know what's going on with her. And utilizing her to travel through all the universes and stuff. And Cassie Lang. Kate Bishop. This guy I'm blanking on for possibly new Falcon. Kamala Khan for Ms. Marvel. Monica Rambeau for Photon. I keep forgetting the actor's name and the character's name. I'm just like, Oscar. I don't know. Moon Knight. Jane Foster, Thor. Shang-Chi too. Wanda. Shuri. Yelena, and then, yeah, She-Hulk's in there somewhere. So, okay, I mean, it's not like all the characters. I feel like there's some major characters that are out there that were introduced in, like, phase 4 or 5 that aren't here that we're forgetting. Last kind of thoughts, I guess, of, like, of all of the Marvel stuff that I've seen, of, like, concluding thoughts of, like, characters that I've seen that I thought were interesting that I want to see more of. Wanda stuff, which I mentioned. Miles Morales, and mostly the animated Sony Beyond the Spider-Verse stuff, which isn't MCU. Runaways, which wasn't MCU and I think was on Netflix and I think now is MCU through merger or something or other. But Runaways content, and I wanted to see more with all of them and where all that was going. And I feel like maybe I saw a glimpse of Nikki in a trailer for Agatha. It would make sense, like a witches type thing. Blade, which they're not going to do anything with Blade, but that would be nice. And you could do, they've hinted at doing like a whole vampire universe type thing, and that would be fun. So Blade, Runaways. I want an answer to the stupid statues sticking out of the planet, even though I don't want an Eternals 2. I just want, like, them to say, we acknowledge that this is happening to our planet now, just to have that sense of continuity. I think I just want some basic explanations of like now when we get a movie, we don't know even like what universe it takes place in or what time, what year it takes place in or anything. So even just like saying like, hey, this is taking place on the our main timeline, like universe 1999 or whatever we are. This one is taking place in this universe. This one is taking place now, during the blip, 5 years after the blip, 6 years after the blip. Like tie the universe mess together in a way that makes a little bit more sense and unify that all. Like, would just fix your shit. I don't know. But yeah, they threw us a lot of loose ends. So I was like, well, what was all of post Endgame? You know, that I've seen that I'm aware of. So it's like, well, we had Black Widow, which was like a flashback, but it introduced Yelena, who's popular, and the Elaine from Seinfeld, with Thunderbolts stuff, whatever, in that direction. And then start with like Vicky, I can't remember, whatever. And then we had there was a Black Widow, and then Shang-Chi, which doesn't really connect to anything else, but it introduced that kind of lore and magical realm and Ten Rings and Mob Organization and all that stuff. And the stuff at the end with Hulk popping in there or whatever Wong is up to. No Way Home, where like Ned has powers now, and like did that set up for, you know, what's Peter Parker up to these days. Then we had WandaVision, which set up like where's White Vision going now, and the stuff with her kids and all that stuff. Multiverse of Madness, which set up like among other things like Erica or what Doctor Strange is doing now with all his like super extra powers, and what's going on with America Chavez and her powers and finding her parents. And then you had all the things from Eternals, including it introduced like what Eros and Puck, which like who's gonna know or care about them. And then you had like the Moon Knight thing and all those gods, and then you had it like introduced like that actor who played Jon Snow, and like he's some other character that I don't know who is that supposed to be. I guess we heard the voice of Blade, or like Black Knight for there's a sword, or I don't know, something from end credits that don't make sense to anything. We got Deadpool, we got Wolverine, mutants, Fantastic Four. It's a whole soup of things. Potentially, Doom, and I don't know. See, I'm tired now. Wakanda Forever, and the like Mesoamerican based characters that were introduced in TVA, and there's a lot. So yeah, okay. But long story short, I think Thor: Love and Thunder, like Loki season 1 and WandaVision were good, and then I felt like everything else, like What If was kind of good season 1, and then it was kind of hit and miss, and then it just kind of like Thor: Love and Thunder was like bad, and Quantum Mania was really bad, and then I just kind of like lost, you know, you watch, you know, like one episode of this and one episode of that, and then you're just like, I'm kind of done, you know. But then, you know, Guardians 3, you know, concluded the trilogy, and then, you know, yeah, here we are. Okay, so yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna stop the video. All right, bye, y'all.